So I think we all are here to this evening. It's going to be a wonderful learning for us with Jay sir. And without wasting much time, over to VP Training, JC Sitara. Thank you.
Thank you, President Deepa ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to introduce Jay sir. I don't think so he needs any introduction in our loom, at least in our zone at least. But as a protocol, Dr. Jayachandra is a past president and a national trainer. So he's been the founder member of this particular horizon as well. So it's always an honor to have him as a trainer. And what better to have a trainer who is most empathetic and to actually deliver a topic on empathy. Sir, thank you so much for accepting and guiding us through all the way and being our trainer as well. I wholeheartedly welcome you to the session and request you to kindly take over the session.
So thank you, President Deepa and Vice President Sitara and all the fellow JCs, and there are a few guests also. Okay, thank you so much. So how are you feeling today?
Feeling good, sir?
Before that, let me know if you want this session to be an interactive session or to be an one-sided session.
Interactive, sir.
Interactive, sir, of course.
All right. Wonderful. So now you can say how do you feel, or you can type it out. How is your feeling as of now?
So Sushant says it should be interactive.
Wonderful. So how are you feeling now? Each one of you. What's your feeling? What are you sitting with? So can someone read?
So Sitara says she's feeling resourceful.
Okay, resourceful.
And I feel good and energetic. Anuradha ma'am says she's curious.
Okay.
And Sushant says superb.
Okay. So I am feeling anxious. I am feeling with a kind of tense because I'm going to interact with you all through this medium. Okay. So my feeling of anxiousness is there. My feeling of tense is there. I'm also elated here. So these are my three feelings as of now. So we are going to start with that. Right? So let's see what. So the objectives of this program, understand about empathy, because it's a 40 minutes to 50 minutes session. So it's like a seed. It's like a seed. We already know we are human beings. We know, and we have been doing it. So what I believe is the moment we are going to have the seed in us, we have to nurture it. We have to help that seed to grow, to blossom, so that we become better humans. So I'm using the word better humans. Okay. So the second objective is importance of empathizing. Why it is important to empathize. The third one is conflicts in our life, because until we understand the conflicts in our life, we don't understand the importance of empathizing and empathy. The fourth one is recognize and connecting with our feelings. So we started with that, if you remember. Okay, connecting and recognizing empathy. The fifth one is learn the process of empathizing. It is not going to be a complete process. It's a very simple process that I'm going to share and we are going to discuss on. And then let's see how we can move further. Okay, these are the objectives of this program. Now, as you see, there are many words in this particular image. And what are the words that you can see in this image?
Compassionate.
The first image, first word that that gets in your mind.
Compassionate.
Okay.
Sushant says empathy.
Okay.
I feel connect, sir. Connect.
Okay. Wonderful. Who else? Bhuvana here. Okay. Who else? So can you read? Yeah.
Shakuntala ma'am says here.
Fear. Okay.
Here, sir.
Here. Okay. All right. So, it's so amazing that the moment we see something, we focus on few words that goes inside. And have you seen the whole gestalt? Gestalt means the big picture. See how detailed that we are into. We focus on the detail, isn't it? The big picture. What is the big picture about? What is the big picture that you can see?
The heart.
Yeah. So where it went.
Mm-hmm.
So both of you had unmuted, and I'm guessing that you are struggling or you want to say something. So I have a question with you. I had a question with you.
Yes, sir. Definitely struggling.
Pardon?
I'm actually struggling to interpret the question you asked me, sir. I couldn't understand the question.
So the question is, I asked you what you see, right? What goes in your mind when you see
Yes.
this picture? So each
Yes.
one of us said, one said empathy, one said here, one said compassion, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It's kind of a heart. This heart symbol. This is.
Yes, Prasad. Yes, sir. Correct. You are right. But what happened when I asked, each one said about what has been written over there? That's very important to note here. When we are in a relationship, or when we are talking to someone, when we are connecting with someone, isn't it? We only get into the words. We don't see the whole heart behind it. That is where I want to start.
Very true,
Until
sir.
we see the heart, we have lost the whole connection. You can apply it anywhere. Just from today, become aware. No? When you're connecting with your spouse or with your kids or children are here, when you are connecting someone, what comes to your mind? How do you connect? Do you see a person's heart, or do you see their nose? Do you see their eyes? Do you see their hairs, or do you see their dress? So what a struggle that, look at the words. I asked about feelings. Feeling good or energetic is a feeling. Feeling good was there, and then super was there, and Sushant is young. It is not only Sushant, we all, isn't it? Are we seeing the heart? Is the question. To reflect. Okay. So, what is empathy, by the way? You would have read this. I didn't animate anyway. Can someone read this?
The ability to understand and share the feeling of another is called empathy.
So what you all understand by this? I need to at least listen to hear to 2-3 people. What do you understand by this?
It's basically understanding from the other person's perspective.
Mm. Okay. So who is going to, yeah, Deepa?
Sir, I don't know how far we'll be able to understand other person's perspective, but at least if we have the patience of listening to the other, I think that's what probably this sentence means to me.
Mm-hmm. So listening to other. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So Sitara said perspective and you said listening. Yeah. Prasad sir, you
Understanding and accepting others' thoughts.
understanding and accepting others' thoughts. Okay, you are talking about thoughts. It says something different. Can you read that? Is
Feeling.
it saying perspective? Is it saying listening? Is it saying understanding about thoughts? It's a simple definition that I had picked up from Google. So there is something called feelings. See how much we are conditioned. I'm bringing that notice to you, including me also. We are so conditioned to look at the perspective, the point of view. We are so conditioned to listen. Yes, as we listen, we understand the feelings. Okay. So the thoughts. Here it says, the simple definition says the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. That is called empathizing. And it's very important in certain areas of our life, not certain areas, almost all areas. Okay, so let's go further. What is sympathy? So there is empathy, there is sympathy. So the definition is here. Can you share your understanding by reading 2 or 3 people?
You want us to read?
So you can read, and you can. Need you to reflect and let me know your understanding about this definition.
Feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else in misfortune. The moment I read this, what flashed in the mind is it's a just a thought. There is no action involved.
Mm.
That is what
Okay.
flashed. There is no without action. You are. I mean, you are feeling something.
Okay.
Action is missing. That is what I understood.
Acha, fine.
It's more like feeling bad for another person.
Pardon?
It's more like feeling bad for another person or feeling sad for the other person for whatever is happening with them.
Sympathy is there. What about others? Others are silent. Okay, let us go with this. Feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. Sympathy is I feel sorrow, I feel pity of other person. Let's say my son is coming and he is saying, I lost this cricket match, I have not been selected, I feel so sad. And then I also feel sad about him, about what happened. That is sympathy. I sit and cry. If other person says, when I'm sharing this, reflect it in your life. It is not only pity and sorrow. When someone is talking about other person, let's say in an office space, there are two colleagues of you. One person is talking about the other person, and you feel the same emotion about the other person. It is a sympathy. So what we are focusing on is empathy than sympathy. So the empathy here says the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Sympathy is when someone is crying, I also cry. In my example of my son, I feel so sad, and then what happens? Can you say what happens to me when I feel sad?
You just feel
Right.
helpless.
Helpless. And what will happen totally then?
That,
Yes, Deepa.
sir, I think that's sympathy.
Yeah. So when I'm sympathizing, when I'm feeling sad for my son, what might happen?
It will
I
increase
may
sadness. It will
Pardon, both
increase.
of you.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
It will increase the sadness.
Yeah, it will increase the sadness, Girija. Yeah.
We have to encourage them to face the misfortune.
We are not going to go over there. That is called leading, Girija. We are very good in that. We give an advice.
Thank you, sir.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Actually, it is important to empathize with them. That is what the whole point that we are talking about. Okay, so sympathy is crying with the other person. If he is sad, I'm also sad. Empathy is understanding the sadness. I'm not going to go feel pity about that person. Okay, so it is like that. Okay, now why it is very important, empathizing. Why it is very, very important in our life. Why you have to empathize?
That's a human. That is what humanity is.
Mm-hmm.
And the connection. If you want to connect with the people, this quality is essential.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Prasad sir. Who else want to share? Why it is very important, empathizing?
Probably get along well with people when we learn to empathize them with their problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Deep.
Thank you, sir.
Why? More contributions from the people around here. Why we need to empathize? Okay, let's see.
Because
So,
we should not allow them to drown into sadness.
in the process, we will get drowned along with them. Good metaphor you used, Girija. Either we will get drowned along with them, cry for 2-3 days, and then say, "Oh, come on, chalo, yeah, we'll be, or we will say, we will take our frustration or what. Every time you are into the self-pity mode, do something. And if you have learned some kind of motivational talks or like that, chalo, yeah, let me pull you out from the pit.
Sushant says it brings some sense of comfort.
Yeah, it brings some sense of comfort. So why it brings some sense of comfort? Yes. So we are seeing that this picture. What comes to your mind with this picture as you see this? where you can relate with you, because this is also empathizing. When you look at the picture, something is there in that.
You're going for some important work, and there's a breakdown. You're stuck in between. You're not able to reach there.
Okay. I understood your observation, but there was also interpretation, Sitara. Some important work stuck over there. These are all interpretations, but I like it.
So
I do a
probably the
lot of
person is
interpretation.
looking for a
Pardon,
break.
pardon, Deepa.
Probably the person is looking for a break.
Looking for a break. Okay. Right. Who else?
Shakuntala says waiting for support or hope support is arriving.
Waiting for support. Hope support is arriving. Thank you, Shakuntala madam.
Divya says that person needs some break.
Need some break. Okay, see, how we are empathizing with this. For me, I feel that I sense when I took this photograph, I sense that something I could not able to manage, and it's a breakdown where I connect with my, where I get into my breakdowns in my life. For example, let us say children. Do you think children don't get breakdown? It's only we get breakdowns.
They do.
What do you do with your breakdowns? Do you give a positive motivational message and skip that breakdowns? And when we do, we suppress it. You know that? And in a relationship, we keep on suppressing, where at one fine day, we throw all the garbage on other person.
True.
Think about that. Okay. So this I connect with a kind of breakdown, a person who is just standing over there and then reflecting what had happened in the relationship, in my communication, what had happened, how it went, how it all, my whole life had come to this point. That is how I connect with this. So I connect with a broken heart. A broken heart. Because finally we end up with this, right? The heart is so broken. What's important is communication. What is important is communication. Why it is important? Communication. If the heart is broken, then we cannot communicate. Think of a moment in your life, of recent moments when your heart had been broken in your communication. And what you did with that. We want to skip, we want to avoid, we want to ignore, we want to give advice. And we are attending many training programs on communications. We are attending so many programs. And those moments where the heart breaks down, it leads to tremendous stress. All kind of negative thoughts. When I said garbage, that is what it is. The negative thoughts we get into, not only for us, even for the other person, isn't it? And we are really good. We are really good in thinking that thinking only about us. We don't even think or empathize about the other person. Communication, it's all about empathizing, if you ask me. It's all about, it's not about the words, it's about the heart. Remember, my friends, it's not about the words, it's about the heart. When here you can find the mind and feelings. And from this beginning of this session, you were communicating something. When I asked you about the feelings, there were a lot of mind thoughts came into. It's from the mind. Where is your heart? If we don't, connection happens. Prasad sir said, connection happens only through feelings, only through heart. Otherwise, you and me know that, you and me know in a corporate environment or a professional environment or a business environment or even in a family, we know very well that, okay, this is all, you talk something, I don't want to trust you. I know about this, all this nonsense, because there is no connection at all. And finally, people end up with not listen to. So when we are talking about this mind and feelings, can you understand when someone is saying something, can you understand from where they are staying? What is the feeling behind what they are saying? What is the feeling behind what they are saying? So a role play. Can I have a volunteer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So who said yes? One is Deepa, the other
Sushant, sir.
pardon? Sitara. Okay.
Sushant, sir.
Sushant. So Deepa, would it be okay if I take Sushant?
That should be fine, sir.
Okay, thank you. Sushant, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now think about no. You are going to talk as your dad or mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So or else Sushant, you are going to talk. You are going to express your sad moment. Means you have scored less mark.
Okay.
Okay. Or you have not performed well, and you are going to share it to me. Okay. That is the role you are going to play. Is it okay for you? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Sir, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm going to play the role of your dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dad. Papa.
Yeah.
So, exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಏನು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಹೇಗೆ ಅದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತು? ಬರೀ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀನು ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಟಿವಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅದು ಇದು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ ನೀನು?
ಸಾರಿ ಅಪ್ಪ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂದ ನಾನು ಸರಿ.
ಏನ್ ಸಾರಿ? ಡೈಲಿ ಊಟ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋದು, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದು ಕೊಡ್ಸೋದು, ಏನೋ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಬೇರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ? ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರಿ.
ಅಮ್ಮ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ.
Okay, so let us stop here. So what happened, Sushant? Can you share? How was your feeling?
Scared.
So what happened?
I felt scared about how my dad would react.
Okay. So when I was talking, what happened to you?
Felt like my dad was talking to me.
Okay. All right. Let's ask other person, other people. What is your observation? Can you share your observation?
Well, my observation is there was no this one, empathy towards him, asking why, what happened, what is going through him, how he is feeling, like why did he end up with that low marks? Was there any difficulty? There was no attempt to solve a problem. It was more like challenging him further, which could push him to the end.
Okay. Thank you, Sitara.
Divya says no concern about the reason.
Yeah.
He
Thank you,
would
Divya. Thank you, Divya. No concern about the reason. Yeah. Can I invite others also to share your observation?
It's just an excitement from father. I mean, immediately.
Mm.
He didn't think about what's the, impact or reason like that.
Yeah. No thought about impact, reason, how it would have landed on the child, isn't it, Girija? Yeah.
How it would be.
Yeah. So I didn't give any opportunity for the other person to talk at all. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I didn't give any opportunity for the other person to talk. As you say, no commenting, Divya said, and I didn't explore what Sitara said, right? Girija said, I just said what I want to say. So no empathy. Reflect in your life. How often that we all do that. So now how to empathize? Okay. We have seen what is empathy, what is sympathy, and we have understood about the mind and feelings. And you remember the heart. So we didn't see the heart, we saw only those things. Here I picked up only the words. Okay. And I started sharing my thoughts in the role play. So how to empathize is a question. Now, how to do that? So this image is like we are going to hold other person's heart. It's very, very important. Look at this image. When we are connecting, when we are with other person, when we are going to communicate, they are exactly giving their heart through their feelings. Are we ready to connect? Are we ready to receive their heart, hold their heart? And many times we are not ready to hold other person's heart, their feelings. Okay. Imagine that for a moment, the same role play, if I would have done that, okay, Sushan, no problem. What's a big deal? You know what? All the billionaires, they have not studied anything. You can just rock and roll, my dear guy. Don't even bother. Go out, take $100 over there. Go out and have your favorite dish and come. Even there, I was only, showing my inconcern, or I'm not holding the heart. I have not understood that person. Empathy is very, very important. It starts from you and me. It's like credit and debit. The person who wants to share their heart, they will stop sharing their heart. Because we are not in a position to receive. Sometimes in counseling and coaching, they don't want your advice. They don't want your advice. If you are a leader, if you are a manager, or if you are a person with your friend, they don't want your advice. They want to just listen to their feelings. It is not only listening to their feelings, hold their heart. And that can do wonders. It's time to listen, holding the heart. I'm repeating, it's not only listening. Listening here, it goes to the brain. We have to open our heart and listen. The key to communication is heart to heart connect. When the connection happens, then the magic happens. In NLP, we call it as rapport, but many times, rapport has been used to manipulate and influence. My friends, remember that. Even you would have experienced person who can connect with heart and who can connect with the mind. So when you are listening, you are going to listen to their feelings so that you can establish a connection to their heart. ये दिल का मामला है. Your relationship is based on feelings, your heart, not on your thoughts or your perspectives. There's a difference between your relationship, the way that you relate with your family members, with your spouse, with your children, and the way that you relate with your professional members or professional colleagues and the business clients. But the expert, or there's no expert, that a specialist in communication, they have learned the skill to listen to the feeling. Now, before that, when I'm talking about the other person, first thing is, can you empathize your own self? If you don't have abundance within you, abundance of compassion, abundance of love, you cannot give it. Dalai Lama says, no, almost all the meditators says, only what you have, you can give it, you can share it. So the first thing is, what do you carry inside? How do you feel? Do you empathize yourself? There are two things. One thing is self-empathy for my own self, or I reject my feelings and then I go with my thoughts. Become aware, my friends. Before you empathize other person, do you empathize yourself? I have seen people, they're running, they are in urge, they work hard, they get stressed out, and they always, sometimes they keep on cribbing. They are not looking out for advice. Just listen to them and see what the magic happens at that moment in time. So before that, listen to yourself, listen to your heart, listen to your feelings. Empathize with yourself. Take time. Last session I was there, I was listening. Do you take time for yourself? And before that, this step, empathize with yourself. Every day, sit by the evening. You're not waste baskets to have all the garbage within you, because the more garbage we have, we start throwing it on others, and for no reason. It is time, my friends. Self-empathy. So if I'm not feeling well, the best thing is stop everything and call your friend or someone, talk to them. Say to them that I want you to listen to me and I want you to empathize. It is the greatest healing that you can have. And when you are filled with that empathy, then you can open your heart to listen to other person. And remember, the more you start empathizing with other person, you will become the person where people come to you. They will start sharing their feelings. They'll start listening to you because they know that you care for them. They know that your care is genuine. They know that, you have listened to them opening your heart. Even in your business, even in your profession, even your, colleagues, even your boss can sit with you and share, because they know that they are not, you will not take the whatever they have shared as granted. So it is time to listen, my friends. And for children, for parents, it is very important. Can you listen to their heart? Can you hold their heart for a moment? That is empowering. Let us not give our advice. Myself, I keep on giving my advice to my son. I'm learning. I'll be very honest. I feel so hurt and ashamed. But at one point in time, as a human, I also connect with myself. Because that is my fear, that how he is going to lead his life. But at the same time, with that fear, am I not destroying his ability? It's time for us to wake up. It's important for us to wake up. Okay, so how to do that? Role play. So Sushant, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you share the same one of your performance?
Appa,
Hmm.
ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
So you feel sad about it, Sushant?
I feel sad, Appa.
Okay. So what happened?
I lost marks in a few questions.
So the way that you are saying, not only sadness, there is a kind of guilt that is over there. I can sense, I can feel it. Sushant, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. So I said something. Not
Yes.
only sadness, I can sense a guilt that you have scored less.
Yes. Yes.
You want to say something more?
No.
So what happened, Sushant?
There were a few questions which I found difficulty in understanding.
Okay. So you want to understand that better.
Yeah.
Tell me how I can help you.
I need to help myself by studying.
Okay. You know what? I feel so happy and so strong. You coming and you sharing your feelings, and you saying that I need to study myself. So let me know how I or your mother can help in the process, because for sure we want our son to be a better human.
I don't know any such way.
Pardon?
I don't know any such way.
I don't know any such
way in which you or Amma can help me.
Okay. So as and when you want to talk to us, you can talk to us, Sushant.
Sure, Pa.
How do you feel, Sushant?
I feel
So let
better.
us stop here. Okay, thank you. So let us stop our role play. What's your observation for the whole group?
Well, my observation here would be, here he takes the onus, the control. He feels he is controller in charge of the whole situation, which wouldn't have happened in the other scenario where he would have only blamed every other kid gets low marks. Sometime if I get, what would happen and things like that. But here he understands that it's his responsibility to study and things like that, and it is not forced upon him. It is something that he realized. That's because he was spoken to in that way. So, and he would definitely work forward because he knows that his parents are there for his support. So that way, yeah, that's my observation.
So I'm also looking out for when others are going to share your observation with respect to listening the feelings and holding the heart.
Yeah.
So who else want to share your observation?
But I felt the interaction was very sweet. The
Mhm.
child would have felt responsible, as well as it would have boosted his confidence to a greater extent. So
Yeah, thank you, Deep. So is there something written on the chat box? If Sitara, you can help or anything.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, Girija says very nice interaction. Ashwin says more confidence to study well because of the support from parents. Shakuntala says acknowledging his sadness and guilt and express your feelings of happy and support. It was like speaking with a close friend.
Yeah. So what is important is listening to the feelings. Can I reflect the feeling of other person? And then that is where the connection begin to happen. Usually, if you observe, people get into that mood, either to the, they have, actually they are crying inside, but they don't want to express it. Okay. So where they are struggling and they wanted people, they wanted their son and daughters to become the superstars. So as human, it is very, very important, without feelings, we are not human beings. It's not about thinking, it is about feeling. Can I recognize my feeling as a human? Can I share my feeling? Can I hold the space for other person? Otherwise, there is no difference between, machine and human. I know many people, they say, no, I don't believe in what you are doing, what you are saying. I don't trust you. Or they say that, no, I don't like you. It means that, inside, as I said, they have to give a lot of self-empathy. They have to empathize themselves. Now, what we do, either we blame ourselves or we blame others. Blaming ourselves is self-pitying. We can go into a depression, a negative trap, and no one can save us. The moment we start blaming others, it is like, I don't want to take any responsibility. I will throw all the responsibility on you, and I will just like that enjoy. But there is also approaches. Am I ready to listen? Am I ready to listen to their feelings, hold their heart? Then comes, when that start happening, then comes the love and compassion. It is not the other way around. So can you read this? Can someone read this? Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot.
Survive.
Survive. And we are only most of the time we are only doing it as a kind of in our word of mouth. We need to demonstrate it, love and compassion. Now I think about Mother Teresa. What a kind of love and compassion, connecting with heart, empathizing. I don't think she had learned a kind of communication training with anyone. Not at all. Because her whole connection was through heart. It's called a kind of love connection. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. The key takeaway, if you want to take away, listen to the feelings of other person. It is now. It is this moment. If I start doing it, first let me change myself. So Gandhi says, before changing the whole world around, let me begin with me. It's very important. In any moment in time, you feel anger, rage, frustration, or you are in a important work. At that moment, if someone, your colleague or your subordinate or your spouse or your someone is coming and asking, what do you want to say to them? From where are you saying? It's very important. Are you saying from mind or are you saying from heart? And remember, the other person can understand and identify you. What are you saying? Are you really showing compassion or not? And many times in our relationship, we feel rejected because of this. We feel hurt because of this, because we don't recognize the other person's feelings. And I remember, when the moment I feel that I have, my words heard or consciously or unconsciously, something happened, I immediately take charge and I ensure that I communicate. I don't even waste a single moment in time, because I respect my fellow humans. That's it. And many of them, the people who are here, they know about me. And we don't lose anything by the way. By the end of the day, we don't lose anything. Now I know many people where they don't do anything for their spouse or for their families, but they go and serve the other people. Can you show that love and compassion for your own self also? So when Anuradha was talking, it is also there. During the time, can you give time for you, for what you want to do? Can you empathize for yourself? You want something to happen in your life, it's absolutely okay. But also the other person wanted something. Let's say Sitara is there, her husband is there, both of them wanted. Can you both share your feelings? And the moment you share your feelings, everything will start getting into place. At least you will know it is clear for yourself. I'm not saying always this will be a kind of the one. Most of the time, the expert negotiators across the continents, they are doing that. Is it not MK Gandhi did it non-violently? How much powerful that he was. He could connect with people. It's time for us to connect, to share our feelings. And I know that this 1 hour session is not enough, but Remember, if you decide to take one thing that I will connect through heart, and it has to be the mantra, I will sit over there and speak out my feelings, whatever might come. And it is a vulnerable situation. Anything can happen. It's okay, because you are opening your heart. Heart is the doorway to divinity. Heart is the doorway to divinity. Jesus Christ also showed the heart. That's the doorway to divinity. When Hanuman has been asked, he also opened his heart and showed. This is where Rama and Sita and Lakshmana is there. Are we not longing for the same? I am leaving with this question for you all. Are we not longing? Are you not longing? So it's question and answer time. If you have questions, please do, unmute yourself so that you can ask the questions, and then we'll end our sessions. Okay. Any questions from your side?
Yes, sir. Sir, most of the times it happens so that, we would think that we are empathetic, but when we expect the same from the opposite person, most of the times we get disappointed. So, I don't know if the mistake is with us that we expect, or should we, I don't know, sir. I have a little confusion with this concept itself. That how is it important? I mean, I understand that it's very important to be empathetic, but how to make the opposite person to understand that they too need to have little empathy about us?
Okay. So first you show the empathy. When there is someone is coming and talking to me, let us say someone is coming and talking to me, first I need to understand my own feelings. Okay. And I also need to understand their feelings. So Stephen R. Covey says, first understand the other person. The understanding is their feelings, not their thoughts. In the long run, this will be the win-win option. Otherwise, in the relationship, either one person will feel so hurt and the relationship will slowly move away. So when you said that, Deepa, I sense a kind of fear and scare inside. This is my assumption.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I
So
have,
this is my assumption, because I don't want to lose myself. This is my assumption. I don't want to lose myself. So what I will do is I'll just guard, let the other person also open up, and then I will, because I had also gone through that somewhere. I am coming from that point. So I will invite you to start experimenting, at least with your family members, and see what kind of changes that it can bring in. Okay? Yeah.
sir, I want to
Yes, sir.
I want to know something from you. The question is to empathize, to have this quality of empathy, a level of intelligence and IQ is required or not? Because,
Not, sir.
okay, if you take my mother's case, she is 70 years old. But she is absolutely, if you observe, there is no empathy. She won't feel any kind of, empathy, because she is not able to understand others' feeling. Keeping my mind, my mother's condition, I raised this question.
Okay, sir, first you empathize, you keep on empathizing. That's the best way to help others to empathize. That's what I was also sharing with Deepa. So I'm going to empathize with you. So I sense your care about your mother. And I also sense your feeling of, can you label the feeling, what you sensed, because your mother was not empathizing?
No, under empathize means, I mean, the
What was your feeling?
No, right word could be understanding somebody's feeling. I mean,
Sir, I'm asking you, your mother is not empathizing,
no,
expressing her feelings. What is your feeling about it?
no, disappointment.
Disappointment. Now you share with your mother.
Okay.
Because, when we are sharing our feeling, the other person will also share their feeling. If you don't share, they will not share. It might take some time, but it will happen.
Okay.
And today I was reading to Ramana's a book where Mr. V. Ganeshan, he says that sages, they connect with heart, not with mind. It's a beautiful statement that he said, who had lived with Ramana. They connect with heart. And I have also seen, the people who really connect with heart, they are so strong.
So intelligence IQ is not required.
Not required, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I will share with you this example. Let's say dog as a pet. Okay, they don't, they are not human beings, but they are living beings. They show more of empathy. You know that? Even if you reject, they come and they be with you. They sit with you. They know when you are sad. They know when you are happy.
It's a very good example. Yes.
Right? And many times what I had recognized is I am into my own thoughts, my own want. That will stop me from empathizing the other person. Sometimes I get into the fear. What will happen if I lose myself? There is nothing to lose, by the way. And I'm also learning. At many times I had also showed I snapped someone. Right? Yeah, is there something else, Sitara, in the question box?
So, no, sir.
Okay.
So, Francis, thanks a lot, sir, for such an informative session.
Yeah, thank you so much. So here it is. We will formally end. So this is our programs that we do, and so thank you so much. And it was I felt really happy, and I felt connected. And communication is the way that we express ourselves, and yeah, the space that you had given me for me to talk. Now I felt heard, right? And thank you so much for each one of you, and the amount of work that you put in, um, especially the President Deepa and VP Sitara, and then all the LOM governing board. So thank you so much. Yeah, over to President Deepa and the team.
Thank you very much, sir. It was indeed a wonderful session, which definitely makes us all introspect with each behavior of us from now on. Whenever we interact with the person with us, any person with us, we would definitely be empathetic towards them. And thank you very much, sir. It was indeed a wonderful session. And I'm sure that all the participants will agree with my opinion that it was a great session, which definitely is going to keep us uh, introspecting ourselves and thinking about if we have been right and wrong all these days. Thank you very much for the session, Jay sir. And thank you very much all the participants for your time and your enthusiasm towards learning. So as Anuradha ma'am said in the first session, this almost 2 hours today we have sent for self, for personal growth, and it has also been a social gathering. So I think we have managed our time successfully for these 2 hours today. Thank you very much, Anuradha ma'am. Thank you very much, Jay sir. And over to VP Training, Sitara. Thank you.
Thank you, President Ma'am Deepa. Thank you everyone for being part of it. My special thanks and heartfelt thanks to Jay sir and Anuradha ma'am. today being National Training Day, I know both of them have been packed with back-to-back trainings. In fact, just before this training also, Jason just finished a training and made sure he gives us some time, which is commendable. He is, I think sometimes we take a backseat, but he never does that. He is always there for us. Sir, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time, and Anuradha ma'am as well. I understand there's so much happening, so much of training that you're doing on your personal front for yourself, for others, and yet sparing time for us is something that we can't, thank you more about. The session, no doubt everybody has enjoyed. We can see from the chats that are coming up, it says very informative session. Thank you, sir. Uh, Shakuntala ma'am says, thank you, sir, and thank you, JCI Bangalore Horizon, for a wonderful session and grateful for allowing me to attend. Ashwin says, thank you for this wonderful session. Lot of learning as always. Prasad sir says, thank you. Divya says, thank you. So you have, Girija says, very informative session. So that we have everybody being so grateful about it. And I should give the whole credit to Jay sir and Anuradha ma'am for making this day successful. Thank you so much, Anu ma'am and Jay sir. Thank you everybody for taking out your time from the weekend and being part of this training. And President ma'am, you're always there as a support. Thank you so much for your support for carrying out these programs. Thank you one and all.
I would like to add a special thanks to VP Training Sitara. Though she's been very busy, she has a lot of enthusiasm in holding trainings, and the way she designs our programs. I mean, what do I say? The brochures, they're wonderful, very creative, very creative. Every time she comes up with a wonderful idea, wonderful, and thank you very much, VP Training JC Sitara, for your enthusiasm. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This only makes me to do something more better. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.